E22 of the Wisco Wistys. I can't remember because I'm on vacation. I'm obviously not in Green Bay anymore, as you can tell. But there are a lot of Green Bay Packer fans here at the Dominican Republic, so we appreciate that. Didn't get a win last week. Cole will probably talk about that tonight. And you guys do have a guest host today for this episode. It'll be great. You guys will love it. I'll be back next week. So enjoy. Bye. Love ya. Suck it, Cole.
Alrighty then. Welcome back. Welcome back. I don't know what week we are on. Mason normally does those things. I have no clue, but it is January in the heat of winter, and Mason is in a warm area. If you didn't notice, this is not Mason with me today. Today we have our second recurring episode, correct?
Yeah, I was a guest, but this time I'm
Second
hosting.
second episode for with Alexa.
I'm
She's
Alexa.
hosting, filling in for Mason.
I'm Cole and Mason.
Yep, Alexa.
Oldest of the family, the oldest sister, the only sister, and their life coach.
Not true. Probably one of our biggest episodes because we're massive. We have a huge audience. Was the one that Alexa was on with our good-looking, ugly ranking NFL player. So check that one out if you're interested.
Yeah. My
This
goal
we're
is
gonna
to
just keep it.
actually get more ratings this time and to kick Mason to the curb and become your new guest host full time.
Absolutely. If we improve dramatically, there's going to be some deep discussions in the Wisco Wisty owners meeting. Also, you're probably going to have a little more in depth and actually like good insight with Alexa. Mason, it's very kind of eh.
Wow,
Um,
I appreciate it.
Alexa knows a lot more than probably your brother knows if you have a brother or one of your best guy friends. So because of me and dad and everyone else. So get used to it, okay?
I was gonna
She
say we
she knows
will
what she's
spread it.
talking about. Yeah. We're gonna just jump right in then. We're gonna talk about the weekend recap. Obviously we have to discuss as Packer fans the Packer Niner game. Alexa, do you have anything you'd like to say about that? Do you have a just Alexa, stop. Sorry, my Amazon thing's going off. This is gonna be a problem. I'm gonna have to call you sister or something. Do you have anything to say about the game?
That's weird.
I gotta say something. Okay.
Um, Packer Niners win in. We went in. I went into the Packer Niner game expecting to lose. Okay. I had low hopes. We weren't supposed to be this far in the season at all. So I keep my hopes low. The Cowboys game was a great, great game. I was pleasantly surprised. I was hoping maybe we could do that. So I kept my hopes low. It's hard to say you're not going to care because we weren't supposed to be that far anyways, not supposed to be there. And then we do fairly well holding them to low score. And then we have the lead at one point, and then it's hard not to care, not care anymore. You know what I mean? Like I say, I'm not going to care. And then all of a sudden we have a chance to win. And even though they get ahead of us, we still have what, like a minute and some seconds left, and we could possibly tie it. And I'm just thinking, well, you know, now I want this. I expect this. I want it. I want to go all the way to the championship. And it was heartbreaking, and it shouldn't have been. I shouldn't have let myself to get heartbroken, but it was heartbreaking. Now, there are other aspects in that game that we could have done better, right? Could have done better, should have gotten a couple field goals, maybe not gone for the 4th and 1 and gotten a field goal, hopefully. I don't know if Anders could have made that one or not, but we could have tried at least. Maybe should have had a pick six or at least a pick, you know. But I feel bad because I know Jordan's probably beating himself up, right? He knows better. He knows not to throw across the field. He knows not to throw across the field into three defenders. I don't care if this is your first year playing or not. You don't do that. Throw it out of bounds. Take the down, take the
Live
loss.
to play another play. Yeah.
Yeah, live, at least try, right? If you throw and you miss and you miss and you miss, we missed 4 times, then at least you tried. But that was stupid. It's like studying your ass off for a test and then getting 2 plus 2 wrong. You know what I mean? And that's the difference between an A and a B. So it's just like, to me, it's disappointing. I know he's probably beating himself up like I would. I would like replay it over and over again. So I know he's punishing
He
himself.
probably should. Probably should. Yeah.
He should, but and it's not
It's
just
not
his
all on
fault.
him though.
It's not his fault, but it's hard to
Partially.
watch knowing that the Packers have been in instances like that in the past, and we've had Aaron to take us down there. That's probably the hardest thing is we're used to being able to complete that and put up points at the end. So wasn't a very positive outlook, which I know you were looking for from me from the Packers, but Niners game. I thought we played them really tough, tougher than I thought we could, especially with our defense and all their weapons on their offense. So
I agree with everything you said, and I think it was semi-positive. I'm gonna go on a little rant here because I was depressed this weekend. I
I
was angry, very angry, and the Bills Chiefs game, we'll talk about that next. It just pissed me off even more. Like I was getting yelled at by a certain someone about some of the things I was saying about certain people and what I'm gonna do to myself and those people and those kinds of things. First of all, I get we weren't supposed to be there. I didn't expect us to win. I didn't realistically think we were going to beat the Cowboys. So, like, I get that aspect of it. It's awesome. But this is the NFL. Winning is hard, first of all. So, when you have the opportunity, it comes around every so often. Take Aaron Rodgers. He's been to how many Super Bowls? One. Dan Marino went to one in his first or second year, never went back. When you get the chance, you got to go. And I'm not saying we'd win the Super Bowl, but we'd be playing the Lions.
we
I
beat.
don't mind our odds.
Nope.
We already beat them,
Nope.
right? And if we get killed by Baltimore or the Chiefs, we get killed by Baltimore, but we also beat the Chiefs.
Mm.
So I'm just saying, you got to take care of the opportunities. Young or old, you're in the fucking league. Like, do it. Second of all, once you're there in the moment and you're hanging, it's 6-7, and then they score, then you score, then they score, and you have the lead. That's bullshit to me. It doesn't matter anymore. You're there now. We've proven we can beat you. We're better than you right now. We outplayed them. We did not win that game. We lost it. They did not lose it. They did not win it to me. We gave it to them,
Yep.
which is disappointing. It hurts. And the other thing of, well, bright future. Yeah, we do. We have a bright future. It's awesome to see. Like you said, I had no confidence in him going down the field because he didn't do it all season. He talked about how he needs after the game, I need to work on the 2 minute. Yeah, you fucking do. Because that's when shit hits the fan. When you have to make the plays because they know you're passing, they know you're going. So, like, I mean, yeah, we have a young team and he can work on those things. I was listening to Sims today. He was talking about how he needs to work on his footwork for like the first interception. He threw behind Tucker Kraft and he tipped it up in the air, right? And that was a big play because then they got that field goal. He was sitting in the pocket fine, and he just kind of got lazy with his arm. He likes to lean back a lot and make throws, but when he stands in there, he's got to work on his accuracy. He's young. He hasn't played in real games, so I understand. But if you're not going out to win every game as a title town team, what are we playing the game for? Are we
Right.
trying to win the Super Bowl or not?
Right.
Right? Like that pisses me off. This is not a shot at Giannis, but this is not a loser mentality team. I don't give a fuck of whatever. If you didn't win, as Josh Allen said, it's a failure.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
And all these people that are like taking a positive look on it is just a good peace of mind. But like we fucked it up. I think it just hurts me because I would argue that was like 2014 sucked. That's the worst ever, in my opinion, that loss. 2021 against the Niners really hurt when they didn't score on offense. They had a block punt. Like, are we kidding? That one was horrible. I know people want to put in like 2007 or 2000. I wasn't around for those times to like really remember it. 2000, I was born, but I didn't physically like remember the games. So I get those. Um, 2020 sucked against Brady. We had plenty of opportunities. I would say this is at least four or the third worst playoff loss I've ever experienced. It killed me. Like it really hurt. I hated it. And I go back to, and I want to hear what you think about this. We are not clutch as a team.
We're not
And
finishing.
it we don't, which is, yeah. So fun stat, you probably heard it today, or if you haven't heard it, the Packers have lost 5 games with a lead in the final 5 minutes in the playoffs since 2000. That's the most in the NFL. That spans 3 quarterbacks, 3 head coaches, and I believe 3 GMs. So that to me sounds like an organizational problem. We can't finish. We can't. Okay.
Really
Hold
hard,
on. Hold on.
to comprehend, really, like to wrap your head around it, though, because we've
It
had,
is.
well, Jordan doesn't count, but you've had two Hall of Fame quarterbacks that you're
Yeah, so
basically
how's that possible?
can't close, right? That's what you're saying.
Correct.
So
And I think Favre and Aaron could close, but at towards the end of Aaron's career, he wasn't closing. And Jordan's early, so I'm not saying he won't close. But to me, I look at it, you need clutch players and you need like 5 big time people on your team to win those games. Because you're gonna screw up. Savage pick, Carlson missed a field goal, Nixon almost missed a pick, Savage missing a tackle, Love's 2 picks. He looked like Favre throwing that football. Like that was just stupid to me.
more far Blake than Aaron.
Correct. But LaFleur has a tendency to choke in these games. I'm sorry. He's done it multiple times against the Niners, and I hate the Niners because they take advantage of us in those games. We're not there, and I put it on the coach. I think he outcoached Shanahan this time, and he looked great. My mentality actually improved of LaFleur because I thought he schemed the shit out of it. But at the end, you got to have your team finish. Love didn't look great at the end, not clutch. I'm not saying he won't be. Could be down the road. But who else showed up on our team that was clutch? I watched the Bills Chiefs game. Chris Jones knocks the lineman into Josh Allen for him to miss that throw. Clutch defensive play. I watched Drake Greenlaw make 2 great interceptions. I watched Christian McCaffrey run over 2 of our guys and then keep going. Kittle making big plays. They just have these dudes, these stars that show up in the moments. Not saying we don't have it, couldn't have it in the future. The young guys could grow, but that's what you need.
Yeah,
And we
we're
don't
too
have it. And it's
young though to
really
have that. We're too young to have that though.
I don't think so. This is my issue too. I don't Youth is such a pussy excuse to me. Like you're here, you've played a whole season now. Grow the fuck up and do it. Next year, if we're not in the playoffs and we choke again, that's becoming a habit. And they
Yeah.
don't believe. All the pressure's on next year, and I firmly do not believe we can win a Super Bowl until we get those players. That's just what it is. So I was at an extreme
Have those
depression from that
players,
game.
but you think we could have those players, or do we have to go out and get those
I
players?
I think Love could grow into it. I think like Watson has potential and like Jones is one of those players. Like he made a huge run, but who's that guy on defense? You need a couple on both sides, and I don't know if the coach is.
Our
I
defense,
just don't.
yeah. I don't think we're
Like
gonna until our defense improves.
if you put up LaFleur against McVay or Shanahan or Andy Reid or Harbaugh, I'm taking all of them over him. And that's who you're seeing in the postseason every year if you get far.
Yeah.
So I I don't know if I trust them. We might have to get people. We might draft them. They might grow into it. We don't have a star on offense either. Like we have a great group of dudes, but when push comes to shove, who makes the plays for the best teams? The stars. Because it's scheme is scheme. It's X's and O's or Jimmys and Joes. The Jimmys and Joes are the ones that decide the playoff games.
Never heard
It's
that
just
before.
what it is.
I like it.
Yeah.
Um, I, I I see where you're coming from. I do. I just think you can't have a star like Devontae wasn't a star his first year.
Correct. And that's why I'm saying
I
it's not
think
going to
we
grow
could
into it.
have
And
an offensive star, just not we're just not seeing it quite yet. I think
yeah,
we need one on both sides though. And there's
we
nothing
do. And the time is
Jair,
now, though. So, like,
Jair thinks he's the star on the
but
defense,
he doesn't
but
show
he's
up.
not. He's not. He's
Yeah.
walked
You need
to
someone in
he's
the
like he needs to be gone.
interior.
Yeah, he needs to be gone.
Hmm.
He's old, he's
But,
slow, can't tackle. We need to be
but
gone.
to me, we're good enough. We have a good enough team because we just took it to the number one seed, the one of the like best. Everyone regards them as one of the best teams in the league. We can win now. There's no excuse. So you need to go get those guys, or they need to transform into them. And if you don't think they're ready, then go get someone else. Because then you're telling me you don't believe we're going for a Super Bowl. Then that's what I'm saying. That's just what I believe, and that it might be too harsh. It might be too
I think you're
negative, but that's
like
what I took out of that game.
you're a pessimist, so that's
Yeah,
how
because we
mine
fucking suck. We own the Bears and we own the Cowboys, and the fucking Niners bend us
yeah,
over every year in the
they're our
playoffs.
kryptonite. We can't do anything about it. It's just how
And
it goes.
we should have beaten them the last two times too, and it's fucking frustrating. It
Yeah.
just pisses me off.
It's
Anything about anything else for that one?
yeah, it's just a really small pet peeve. You're gonna hate it because it has to do with my job and you hate anything that relating to my job, but one of the announcers during the game said that they were working on Christian McCaffrey's calf and they were definitely massaging his thigh. And
I saw that. Looked like he was getting a handy. I was like,
I
what are we
couldn't
doing?
handle that. I was like, even like a
Yeah.
lay person knows that that is
Hmm.
not the calf. That is the thigh. So I was like, do we have a new injury or are you just did you just misspoke?
Stupid.
There's a
Yeah,
misspoken
they're just
word. Yeah, he just misspoke.
yeah,
I just was like, mm. The announcers this
yeah.
weekend were real bad to me.
I didn't mind.
Tony Romo is
I
always
don't
fine,
think
but the other one
Tony's fine. I like Jim Nance and I don't mind Greg Olson. Burkhart was kind of annoying.
the comments were just like, we're not creative anymore. We're just, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
disappointing. Disappointing.
Okay. On to the next game. So I told Paige if Chiefs Bills, if the Bills lose, I'm gonna be in a dark place.
Yeah,
And of
can I?
course, the Bills fucking pull the Packers and they fucking choked it away. Their kicker pushes that kick. I hate the Chiefs. I recognize how good they are. I recognize how good Mahomes is and what they've built. It's impressive. You don't do that by pure luck, but they get a lot of fucking luck on their side. They do. You can't do it without the luck. I didn't think, and I don't know if you how this is the thing. If you watched the Niners game and said Brock Purdy's the man, you don't know football.
No.
Okay? And if you watched the Chiefs Bills game and said, "Man, Josh Allen lost that game for them," you're a fucking idiot. Like I don't understand it. I love him, but you're an idiot. Like he did, and as Romo said, he did everything perfectly and
And
literally got bumped on the one play and it missed the and let's be honest, if they score that touchdown, they're up three. Who's the Bills defense riddled with injuries? I understand. Didn't stop them until like twice in the fourth quarter. Who's to say he's not going down with two timeouts in a minute 30 to score again to rip their hearts out that way? Probably would have happened. But like Diggs, the deep, he threw two perfect deep balls and they hit him in the fucking elbow and they didn't catch it. Like you don't, they're turning into, he had, he
yeah,
led the team in passing, led the team in rushing. They're turning into the Packers with Aaron Rodgers like 2004 after 14, like 15, 16, 17. Like, fun fact, Alexa. Can you answer this question? Okay. How many wide receivers do you think Jordan Love has had drafted since he's been on the team from the 5th round or lower.
How many? And he was drafted three
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they said that he had,
I think it's wide receivers and tight ends actually, but
well, it's two, four,
it's six.
oh, 10.
It's six. Okay.
With two, four. Oh, I would think it'd be more because we got the two tight ends last draft. And then
I don't know if it's tight ends and wideouts or if it's just wideouts, but
I
it's
was like,
six. Okay.
if it's tight ends, I would say we're closer to 8 or 10.
Josh Allen has been in the league twice as long. You know how many he's had?
Three, four. Oh, that's really low. That's really bad.
Yeah. Why are we not leaning into him? Like the Chiefs were really good and they leaned into Mahomes and they've stopped leaning into him and they're playing a different game through their defense or whatever. But they saw the struggles this year when you don't have weapons around him.
Mhm.
You need to help him. I don't understand. Like, I mean, get this too. They say, oh, you have Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs in his last 10 games had 422 yards. Khalil Shakir, do you even know who that is?
No.
Their other wideout, who's I think they drafted him. He's pretty good. That he's the one has 462 yards.
Oh, she is up.
Khalil Shakir,
Luna is really
okay,
pissed right now. Sorry.
we're trying to record a podcast here. Can you focus? Khalil Shakir has 462 yards on 37 targets. Stephon Diggs has 422 on 80 targets. Twice the amount of targets and less yards. The fuck?
It,
What are we
it,
doing?
it's basically Green Bay of the AFC. It's when Aaron, they kept saying,
Exactly.
draft some talent for Aaron, give Aaron weapons, give
And
Aaron,
they refuse to.
and that's Josh Allen's life in a nutshell right now.
I know, and I feel bad for him. There was 0 turnovers. The red zone is I mean, turnovers are a huge part of games, right? There was the one turnover, there was 0 turnovers until the fake punt, which was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then the fumble into the end zone by the Chiefs, which if anyone thinks that rule should be changed, I don't understand why, because it's the correct rule. The next most important thing in football is explosive plays. Which is 20 yards or more. The Bills had 0.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Chiefs had 8.
Josh is usually the one who's doing that too. It's
Correct. He's
always
running everywhere. They just have more studs on their team. The Chiefs do. This Chris Jones makes a play. Snead makes a play. Kelsey makes a play. Pacheco with the run.
yeah.
Like Mahomes made great plays and played really well, but I think Allen played just as good, as not better, and people are burying him. And I just don't get it, and it pisses me off because they're like inevitable, and it's like Mahomes GOAT conversation already now. It's
No, they're saying
starting.
the next Tom Brady, and I was like, okay. Like
I
I
mean,
already
he's on the path though. He
know,
is,
and I hate it so much. I hate it. Do you
and
think
it's annoying. And
Mahomes would be leading the Panthers to a Super Bowl if he played for
n-
the Panthers?
no, that's the point too. He's lucky with where he got
Got-
drafted. I mean,
He's got he's got it like the coach, he's got the
the
defense.
perfect mix. It is,
Yeah.
and
It's a team sport.
the last, I mean, it is. I mean, he got lucky. Jim Nantz jinxed the shit out of the kicker. He's like, he's great at kicking and great confidence, and I'm like, he's gonna miss. Voomp. I'm
We
like, what are
are
you
very
doing, Jim?
we are very superstitious, like superstitious, I should say. A bunch of Wisconsin
Oh
fans.
God,
We believe in jinxing hardcore. So
that pissed me off. And then the last thing I have to say is I am annoyed with the Taylor Swift stuff, and it's mainly jealousy. I will be honest with you, because it bothers
admit
me
it.
that she's like, I mean, I am annoyed with seeing her, but it bothers me that she's joined a football team, like rooting for them, and she could potentially witness a Super Bowl in her first season. Like she doesn't know what heartbreak is.
First season.
She
She's
doesn't
not
know what
playing the damn game.
I know, but she's as a fan, I'm jealous because like she's experiencing football. She's like, well, this is awesome. Who wouldn't like football? And I'm like, be a Packer fan. It's a disaster. Like
Well,
I'm
we
depressed and you're like,
are.
"Oh, this is so fun." And all those Swifties are like, "Oh my God, I love this football." And I'm like, "Go fuck yourself. You don't
Oh,
know
you're
what this
acting
is."
like the Packers is it's like a drought that we've been in. Like we're not the Bears. It's not like
Alexa, but
it's not
we've won twice in 40 years. That's a joke. And we haven't done anything relevant we haven't been back to Super Bowl in almost in 14 years. That's like
yes.
what? That's crazy.
I get your point. If
With
she was
with
to break up with Travis and date another football player, she would expect the same thing, and it's going to be a whole lot different.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Just the pure like what if she started dating Jalen Hurts and it was just a completely different direction? You'd be like, "Oh my God." Like
It'd be so
football.
lucky.
She was
Jalen Hurts is
she's
so
from Philly or whatever. She should be a Eagles fan, but like what the fuck?
probably what?
Like different world. Like I'm just jealous of it and it pisses me off. I do not want them win because I don't want her to have satisfaction.
You know that ESPN commercial where they like wrote the script for how the NFL season would go? Do you think this was their plan to just like have the
Well,
biggest rock stars
there's so many
date?
people that are like NFL's rigged. They want her at the Super Bowl. Like they want
Yeah,
all the eyes. They want it all. And I'm like, that
yeah.
would kill me.
So do you think? Because then you'd get the Swifties, and then you'd get all the Mahomes and the Chiefs fans, and you'd get a shit ton of viewers. It could be in the script call.
Yes.
I'd be pissed. Someone at work today said, "Nope, the Chiefs are going." I said, "You think they're going to beat the Ravens?" And they're like, "I think they're going." I was like, I'd be so pissed if they went to the Super Bowl just based off of that
So
alone.
their Paige thinks the NFL is rigged, and I'm like, I don't think you understand that they're too stupid to make things rigged. Like they don't have the intelligence to do that unless they're just falling ass backwards in this, but there's no way.
Maybe.
I keep seeing something. I keep seeing something too on social media that's like the entire NFL wants the Ravens and Lions to win on Sunday. I was like, yeah, or not the entire NFL, the entire country wants those
Yeah.
two teams in the Super Bowl. I was like, yes, we can go to those two games real quick. I mean, not
Why?
I
I
expected the
mean, come
Lions to
on.
win.
They're in our division, and I don't even count them in our division or a rivalry. And I would be thrilled
I'm
if both
rooting
of
for
those
them.
to the Super Bowl. That would be
I
fantastic.
want them to. Those old people just crying off of
I
pure
know.
joy is part of the reason why I root for the Bills because they haven't
The,
had it.
the old guy that they keep showing on for the Lions, who's like a
The
season
ticket
ticket
holder.
holder. Oh, I love that. I love that for him
Yeah,
too. That's so cool. I hope they can do it.
I do too.
I just can't. If the other two teams make
Okay,
it.
so let's go into next week then. Chiefs Ravens. Do you have? Let's hear your prediction. Who do you think's gonna win? Not who do you want. Who do you think?
I'm still gonna go with the Ravens. I just think what I've seen from the Chiefs has been a little, I mean, I shouldn't say it's been choppier compared to their other seasons, right? They're still very
But
good,
they're showing up now. Yeah,
but they're not as fluid with everything. You know, their right wide receivers have not been consistent, and Mahomes has been making mistakes. Now he could tighten up and be fine, but I still
or
think
they have. Yeah,
overall, I think the Ravens could do it. I think they have all the consistency and all of the factors that you need to pull
I
out.
agree.
I think it's gonna be closer than what if you would have asked me like mid-season maybe if those two did they play each other this year?
No,
Okay, I was gonna say if those two would have played each other like maybe after like we beat the Chiefs, I would be like, oh, the Ravens are gonna beat them, no problem, easy win. I think it's gonna be a little bit closer, but I do think the Ravens will pull it up.
I agree. I think Ravens. I picked them to win it when we did the playoff predictions. I think they're gonna win. I think this is the one of the first times Mahomes is at. This is where like we'll really see Mahomes if it presents itself because I think the Ravens have mismatches all over the place. Like they have a tough offensive line. They have huge. Look at how big their D tackles are when you watch the game. Huge dudes to stop the run. Better linebacker play. Better secondary or just as good secondary, maybe not as good, but they have Kyle Hamilton to hang on Kelsey. They have Lamar to make crazy plays to match Mahomes. They have um weapons on the outside, probably more than the Chiefs. They have a great coach. They have a great kicker, which is important as we've seen. So I like those odds. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I think Ravens have a couple advantages, and I think they're gonna win. And I'm hoping to. Anything else for that one?
No, I'm just gonna tell you that I'm gonna miss seeing D'Amico Ryan's face though in the playoffs.
I thought it was DeMarco.
And no, it's D'Amico. And he looks real good in a hat. So I'm just gonna tell you that. That was my sad thing about the Ravens moving on was I don't get to see him anymore.
Okay, move on. Lions, Niners. I'm gonna go first with this one. I believe the Niners will win. I'm rooting for the Lions, obviously. I think the Niners can cause some trouble with the Lions if they get pressure on Goff Daddy. I don't see him coming in clutch against that defense when it matters most. And I don't trust the Lions secondary against Kittle. Debo playing's a big deal though. So like but with all their guys and McCaffrey and the coaching, I think they'll have a little advantage there being at home. It's not supposed to rain, so Purdy can grip a football with his little baby hands. So I'm gonna go with the Niners.
I would agree. I think that the Lions are at like 90%. Like I just don't think
They
they have
just need like one thing, right? They just need
just
like
like
a little
a
thing to push them
little
over.
something to win a Super Bowl. I just don't think they have it. I don't know what it is, so don't ask me. I have no idea. But I just don't feel like they have all the components to win. So
I agree. So I'm for both games, and I'm just gonna do a little matchups for the games and what I would bet. So the Ravens are favored 3.5. I would take the Chiefs to cover that. I think the Ravens could win by 3, honestly. That kind of game.
mhm.
And then the Lions are 7-point underdogs. I would take that in a heartbeat. I don't think they're losing by 7. I think they could honestly win the game or make it close enough. Um,
You don't think the Lions
things to look at.
you don't think the Lions are gonna you don't think they can lose by 7?
They could, but I think they're going to keep it close.
No,
Okay, Lexa disagrees.
I do.
Tail Lexa then if you want to. Um, the
I
importance
think they
for
can
that
get a touchdown for sure.
game is the run games for both teams. So who's got the most rushing play action that's going to affect it. So it really comes down to defensive and offensive line to me. I know you could say that for a lot of things, but if they're stopping the run, forcing long third down and long, what
Mhm.
does that look like? Are they getting pressure on Purdy or vice versa? Are they getting pressure on Goff? Because if you get and it'll involve game script too. Like, are they pulling a Packers time of possession? They have the lead, and then now they got to pass a little more, and you get a little flustered, and it's going to be a big effect on the game. And then the other thing I would say is the Niners are so strong up the middle. Attacking the outside is key. We attack the outside. That's how you beat them. You make them throw outside as well on offense, and you attack them on the outside. So I think that'll be important too if Goff can throw to St. Brown and them. The other game, again, I think stopping the run against the Chiefs, make them throw. Like prove you can do it with Kelsey and them because their defense is good. Stopping the run with the D line and then getting after Mahomes. The Ravens lead the league in sacks.
Mm-hmm. Do it.
Mahomes is the least or the second least. It was him and Allen, their teams with the least amount of sacks. And he extends plays. So if you can get him on the ground, that's a difference.
I feel
And
like
then on
that's
the other
how
side,
we were able to do that. We pressured him,
correct, our offensive line. Yeah.
So
Yeah, our D and O line.
yep.
And then on the other side, I think it's gonna be the adjustments the Chiefs make in the second half on defense are really big. But are the Ravens run like it's Lamar to me. It's about Lamar. Is he running and throwing? Is he being dynamic or explosive? or are the Chiefs just kind of hanging in there the whole time? Because if they're hanging in there and the Ravens aren't really, because the Ravens blow people out.
Yeah.
If it gets tight, who do you like? I don't know. So that's what I would say. It's important if they can
Okay,
establish the
If
run
it
with
was
him
tight,
and their running backs.
if it was tight, I would probably err on the side of Mahomes and the Chiefs, which
Correct.
that makes me
Because
mad.
they've been there.
Yeah.
Yep. So though that's what I would say for the matchups. Now onto the final segment, the big segment. We've done Game of Thrones, Star Wars. We're gonna do a Harry Potter football draft. So we're drafting a team with Harry Potter characters and it makes sense to use their abilities, Mason. Not drafting the actor, we're drafting the character.
Oh God, yeah. Some of
So
those characters.
we're gonna use their magic. We're not gonna use certain like they're not gonna be animals in this, but
No
like
creatures. No creatures.
no creatures, but they can use their magic on the field. Like that's the whole point of drafting that character. We make this fun. It's not realistic, but that's why we're doing this. It's part of the shtick.
We have two other
Coach, quarterback,
the other
skill
rules.
positions, um, and then 3 defenders. Okay, we're snake drafting. Anything else?
Yeah, the other rules. We're picking people. They can't fly with their
No brooms. Yes.
brooms, and that they
No
can't
evaporating.
no evaporating. Those are the two rules. Because
Okay.
otherwise they'd be just popping into the end zone, and that would be no fun.
Correct.
No fair, no fun.
Everything else is off on the table. So, do you have a trivia question for me?
I do. And we're doing this because Mason doesn't watch Harry Potter, although he did tell me, and I don't know if he told you this, but because Allie, of course, wants to watch all of the movies, that Mason
Yeah, he's
said
gonna watch them.
he will sit down with all of us and watch them from start to finish. So we may make him a fan of Harry Potter yet. So,
I mean,
Mason,
it would make sense. He's a follower.
true. Mason didn't want to be completely left out of this podcast, so he did create a trivia question for me to ask Cole. If Cole gets it correct, then he can start. So it's kind of long, so I'm gonna read it from the sheet of paper. All right. Rank these 6 beers in the order Mason would drink them. I did not give him any parameters. That's my fault. I probably should have. All right. Are you ready? Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light, Busch Light, Michelob Ultra, and Corona Light.
I feel like Miller's first. Is that correct? Are you gonna tell me or no?
I I I'll be easy and I'll say it is correct.
Um, Bud Light's last.
Ooh, that is also correct. If you get this, I'm gonna be very impressed.
So
Either
then
that
we're down.
you
It's
drink too
five.
much together or that
It's
you just
5 beers or 6.
there's 6 beers. So you have Coors Light,
I have 4.
Busch Light, Corona, and Michelob Ultra left. I want to know
I
how long he
I
thought
want to
about this
go.
question and how long it took him to come up with this question. Why did he choose this question? I have so many
I'm
questions.
just I'm I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna throw this out there just to move this along because I could really debate this for a while. I think I lose
You're
track of
going,
how he feels about
so are you doing
Coors, but
second or fifth? Are we gonna go which
I'm
second?
gonna 2 down. I lose track how he feels about Coors, but I know he thinks Bush and Coors are decent. So I'm gonna go Coors, Bush, Michelob, Corona.
Ooh, you were close. You just flipped each two. So it was Bush, then Coors, then Corona.
Okay, so I had the
Yeah, you had
yeah, okay.
yeah.
It was it was Michelob second to last.
Michelob Ultra was second to last, yes.
Okay, so it's Miller, Bush, Coors,
Corona.
Corona, Michelob, Bud. I think I did pretty well on that, honestly.
You
I
did.
had them
I am very
pretty
impressed.
banked.
To be honest with you, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a beer drinker. I'm not a great Wisconsinite, but I would be able to tell you that he likes Miller first and that he doesn't like Bud. And that's all I would be able to tell you. I could not do that. So I'm very proud of you. Very proud of you. You still
Yep.
didn't get it, so you're still not starting, but
Yep. You
um,
go first. You get
I
your
did wear
coach pick.
my shirt, which Cole mocked my outfit. One, rude. Two, I am doing a favor and guest hosting your podcast, so do not be commenting on my clothes.
I could do this alone. Are you kidding me?
Okay. That wouldn't be as entertaining. I'm much more entertaining. Anyways, Team Hufflepuff over here. That's my house.
Fits your outfit. Yeah.
Shut up, Cole. I Cole made me, he was a bully in the beginning. He made me feel bad about being a puff. And now I'm accepting it because you know what, Cole? Do you know what Hollywood starlet is also a puff?
I I could care less about what Hollywood starlet is, okay? No
No,
one likes the puffs. Let's move fucking on.
no. It's Margot Robbie. She's a puff.
Disaster. That's
Yeah.
just horrible.
So you are a little upset that she's a puff. You would think by Cole's response that he is a Slytherin, but he is not.
I've
Cole,
taken two tests, one Slytherin, one Ravenclaw,
yeah,
so get
Cole's
off me. Can
Ravenclaw.
you take your first pick? You pick your coach. This is your coach pick. So you go coach, then I go coach quarterback.
Okay. I
We don't have all day here because we have to keep this podcast under a certain time
this
limit.
is
I'm
set to
just
keep it tight. I'll
reminding
try and keep
everyone.
it tight.
Yes.
I guess I'll just go with the goat and I'll just start with Albus Dumbledore as my coach.
I don't even think you need to explain
I
that
was gonna
one.
say, I
It's
hope
pretty
I don't have
easy.
to explain that to people because that would be very sad.
So now I get this in the snake. I'm going coach quarterback.
Yeah.
This one's tough for me. For my coach, I'm gonna go Hermione Granger.
Oh, did not see that coming. That kind of makes me a little upset that you chose her as your coach.
First of all, I mean, I think she's a planner. She wants to learn everything. She's an adapter. She's smart. She's a different kind of leader, but she's a leader. I mean, without her, they're not fucking alive. So I like Hermione Granger.
True.
Coach, and now on quarterback. My team chemistry is gonna be dog shit. I'm just gonna put that out there. Also, a rule we didn't reiterate, we're only keeping this in the movie characters. We're not going like, you know, what the hell's his name? Credence and all them in
Yeah, you're not
Fantastic
doing like
Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts, no.
Yeah, or Grindelwald or anyone.
Yeah, which Grindelwald would be the only Credence and
He would
Grindelwald
be
would
up
be the
there.
only ones I would take from those movies, pretty much, anyways. But
Well, I would disagree, but anyways, I'm taking Evaldi as my
as your
quarterback.
quarterback,
Two
all right,
two reasons. I mean, he's super powerful, and I feel like if you have Voldemort on your team with Dumbledore, I feel like I lost already. So like it's almost like I have to take him. And then as as quarterback, you got to lead the team, but he likes being in the action. He likes taking all the accomplishments and all the
he likes
he
taking the
likes being the
praises, but
reason for everything.
he doesn't like to do the work himself, though.
But I mean, quarterbacks kind of throw the ball and then sit there. So like he can do shit
I
and then he can
guess,
just
and if they get like
distribute.
barely touched, they get a flag. So
Correct. And he's a whiner, he's a complainer, and he can kill people. So like I'm all about it. He splits himself, like we're cool. I'm
sure.
going him. So now you're up
Okay,
quarterback, and then you get one skill position
just one skill position. Ooh,
for this pick, because then I go two skill positions and then you go
okay.
one.
So because you took Hermione, which she was going to be my quarterback, I'm actually going to change my list here a little bit, and I'm going to choose Professor McGonagall as my quarterback.
Good
Yeah.
pick, good pick.
Thanks, her and Dumbledore together is going to be like an excellent like powerhouse team coach, everything coach,
Good
player,
chemistry. Good
good
chemistry.
chemistry, and she's very knowledgeable, right? She knows how to she can
Absolutely.
teach, so she can obviously teach her players and coach her players alongside with her and lead that
Hmm.
so. And she doesn't get to go turn into her animagus. She doesn't get to be a cat, but she has to stay human
We're
form.
not doing animaguses.
No. I
Why?
read we said no
But that's
creature.
part of their shtick.
We
But
said no
that's part of the human shtick. They're not. That's not a creature. That's not a
that is an
fucking
animal is a creature.
spider. I know, but that's part of their like thing.
Fine, but if you take Sirius because he's gonna be a freaking dog,
I'll give you the animagus for her. You can have it. Yeah.
all right. So then I get to pick a skill, one of my
Skill position.
skill
We're
positions.
doing two skill positions, so you can do a running back or a wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver, whatever.
Okay. I am gonna choose, and this is kind of hard. But I think I'm gonna choose Ginny as one of my skilled positions.
Good.
No. Hello, she becomes a professional Quidditch player. She's a seeker. She does all of these very
Forgot about
big
that.
things.
Definitely forgot about that. Definitely
Yeah.
forgot about that.
So don't be thinking I just made a chump choice. I thought about this. And she's skilled and she doesn't back down from a fight. So she's gonna run and she's gonna go towards these people tackling her, and it's not gonna be an issue whatsoever. So she's my running back.
You're leaving me with some good options here for skill position.
I have
Like
a
some
lot
really
of
good ones.
because I get another skilled position, right?
Correct.
It'll be based off of who you choose.
Could you go skill position to defense then? And
Yeah.
I get two skill positions. This is tough for me, but I'm trying to think about my quarterback and like what would blend, you know?
Well, your quarterback is evil, so you might want to
So
base it
I'm gonna go with a guy that's you might not think of him offensively, but he's just overall great.
okay.
I'm gonna go Severus Snape.
Ooh, you know what? I didn't even have Snape on my list. So, all right.
He
That
he
I
he
think
can
they would get along.
he got along with them because he had to. He can ride both sides. I'll put him at I don't know, tight end. I don't
Yeah, I would
know,
say
wide
he
receiver,
yeah,
tight
one of
end.
those. Yeah,
He
for sure.
he he can he's a strong wizard. He's smart. I mean, he's the half-blood prince. He does things out of the box. He understands Voldemort and his vibe.
Yeah.
Um, so I get that. And then wide receiver, I'm gonna take kind of an out of the box one. I'm gonna take Victor Crumb as my wide receiver.
Wide receiver?
Or
Interesting.
running back, or running back. Um, physical, like you said, because you brought up the Quidditch, that kind of made me think of him.
Mhm.
Great
Be a good running.
Quidditch player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put him at running back, and he's kind of evilish, like with that one dude. Like he's kind of got an angry side to him, so I think he would jive with my team a little bit better. Hermione's gonna have a tough challenge coaching these fools,
Coach,
um,
because
but she got along with Crumb, so like.
that's true. He
Yeah,
does
so
love
that's that, right? So like that'll work. That's mine. So now you go skill position and then your first defender.
okay. So I think for my skilled position, oh, it's between my love, like my heart, my brain.
Just pick him. We know who it is.
All right, I'll choose Sirius Black because
My favorite scene.
cool. Not only is my favorite character because I love a bad boy who rides the line between good and bad. So he will fight a little dirty on that offensive side. He'll probably get away with a lot of offensive interference. Pass interference is what I'm saying. I also think he'd be good at blocking on that side too. Plus, he's also a dog for Animagus. So I'm going to go with Sirius.
Yep, it works.
Thank you. My other pick was actually Cedric Diggory. So
I thought about him. He was
yeah.
on my list.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he was my other possible wideout. So that's what I was thinking of. It was between Sirius and Cedric, but I chose with my heart. So my first defensive player.
Oh.
What?
So you weren't choosing Cedric, you're just choosing
Sirius.
Sirius.
Oh, we
Okay.
only got a running back and a skill.
Correct. So you're just mentioning someone without picking them. You're just
Correct.
putting them on my radar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't care because I don't want him on defense. So if you take him on defense, that's fine.
This is true.
So I'm gonna choose my first defensive player as Alistair Moody.
The black guy?
No, Mad Eye
What's
Moody.
the black guy's name?
I don't-
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was on my list. I want the black guy if you
Okay,
didn't
I
notice
knew.
that.
See, I knew you were gonna take him. I did.
I fucking love
What's
him.
his name? I
What's
do.
his what's
Hold on.
I can't remember.
Give me.
I'm Googling it. I'm Googling it.
It'll come to me. It's Anyways, so Mad Eye Moody it has captured like literally almost every single person that is in Azkaban. So you know the boy can handle a defensive spell, right? So I think he is the perfect pick for a defensive player, right? He is also quite shady and he toes the line with following the rules. So I think we'll have some flags. I think we'll have possibly him getting thrown out of the game, but I like that chance. Our father taught us to use all of our fouls in every sport in basketball and to be aggressive in football. So I'm going with the aggressive Alistair Moody.
I like that pick. He was on my list. I'm going
I know
obviously
that
like you
guy's
said,
name.
Kingsley.
Kingsley. Yeah, that's it.
Kingsley. I mean, Kingsley Shacklebolt. Is that how you say that?
Yes.
Shacklebolt.
Tackle. Yeah. Yep.
We need a brother on the team. Just putting that out there.
What?
Probably need a brother on the team.
Oh.
Figure it out, Lexa.
Gosh. I thought
Middle
you were putting
linebacker.
his brother on the team. I was like, he has a brother in the series.
You tell Alexa's from the suburban area of Green Bay. That's my middle linebacker. Obviously, I mean, do I need to explain that? Dude's a stud.
I feel like most people don't even know who he is, Cole, so you should at least give like a background.
He does the cool shit. He's always doing the cool spell. In part two, he defends. He's like, "We got this side," and they're like,
He's part of the
maybe
order,
we need a
right?
little more."
Yeah. Also,
Correct. You
he's
have a
got one
good
of the
order group.
best one-liners where he's like, "You may not like him, but
Dumbledore's
Dumbledore's
got
got
style.
style."
Yeah, he's
It's
great.
fantastic.
He's a powerful wizard.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm going like secondary
Okay.
safety. So corner safety. This is an attacking character. This is a in your face character, like Richard Sherman, like laughing at you, talking shit character.
Okay.
Doesn't give a fuck. Bellatrix Lestrange.
Okay. I was like, where are you
That's what
going?
I'm going
I was
with.
gonna say she's the only one I would think
Yeah.
she was on my list, and I do think she will counteract Voldemort very well. So
Yes. So you need that vibe. She'll push
understand.
him in practice. I need that edge on my defense. So that's my defense. So here goes your last two defenders, Lexa.
Who was your third defensive person?
I I don't have a third one yet. I only get one. I have one pick
Oh, you
after
get one
you.
after me. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So my second defensive person is going to be, and you might hesitate a little bit in your response to this person, but I'm going to choose Aberforth. Dumbledore.
Okay. Okay.
Because he obviously he fought in the final scene. He comes out strong and firing, right? And I think he's
Okay.
like one of those silently good wizards, right? You just don't know. And then he's out there and he's going to be loyal, right? He's loyal to his brother, even though he doesn't really like him,
I was
right?
gonna say, is he? I feel like he's gonna cause turmoil.
He is though. Like he's going to fight the fight. He's going to do what he's told. He's going to be a good, solid defender.
Okay.
That's why I choose
What
Apple.
what position?
I'm
D
gonna give
line.
what?
D line.
Yeah, I mean he and Moody would be probably like
They're in that front
linebacker.
seven area.
Yeah, like in the
Yeah.
line, maybe an end and some on a
That's a
linebacker.
good group though.
Yeah.
That's a good group.
And then my last defensive player is the boy it's all named after. It is Mr. Harry Potter
I
himself.
was wondering. I was wondering. I was like, are we gonna leave him off?
Are
Like,
we
how are
not
we
going to choose
doing this?
any actually Harry Potter? No, I'm going to choose Harry Potter. He becomes an Auror. So, I think
He's on my list for defense
yeah, I think he's a good
or
secondary
offense,
player.
honestly.
I think he's going to be
Yeah.
a good secondary, right? He's very good with his defensive skills. You know, he's got heart. He fights. He's passionate. You know,
Hmm.
eh, he'll do what he needs to for the team. Um, I also think that even though he doesn't appear to, I think he does learn pretty quickly. You know, so he would not make the same mistake
And he's
twice.
lucky. He's lucky too, so you need that.
Yeah.
With my last pick, I'll give a shout out to some people first. Hagrid, big D lineman for me. I don't want him, but I'm putting a shout out for
I
him.
didn't choose
Um,
Hagrid because he's technically half giant, and that's a creature. So I didn't know if we were allowed
I
to.
know if we could have done creatures, I would have done Dobby right off the
Oh no,
bat. Like, dude's
I
a
had Dobby on my
stud,
list, and then I was like, oh shoot, I can't use
right?
a creature.
I know. So you got to do that. I'm not touching Ron. I'm not touching Neville. I'm not touching Malfoy. I'm not touching Mr.
I
Malfoy.
did have Ron as like
Um,
tight end, but like a fourth string tight end.
I so I thought you were. I'm gonna pick my character real quick here, but I thought you were gonna potentially do the Weasley twins as like a duo back there. I was like, that would have been an interesting group.
They were on the list.
And then I thought you were gonna do this. I'm taking. I'm not taking Nymphadora, but I thought you were gonna go Nymphadora
And then
and what's his face, and um, I'm taking Lupin.
you are taking.
Um, I'm taking Lupin, but I thought you were gonna do that duo because of that chemistry. But with the werewolf factor and with the, I mean, defense against the dark arts, like that's his shtick. I think
Yeah,
he'll work with Kingsley well.
yeah.
Bellatrix can kind of hang out in the background and do her shit, but like my chemistry's a little off, but I like my group.
No, I think I win just based off of chemistry alone. So
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I was gonna take Harry though, but
yeah,
him
I
and
mean, I
Valdi
think
would not.
very
Him
good.
and Valdi would not.
No, but
No, he would be
they would
like,
be on opposite
he'd be.
sides of the ball. You could keep them just on the other end of the field, like on opposite
It
ends.
would be a disaster. It would be a disaster. So we don't
Yeah,
need that.
I mean, could
Okay,
have,
so that's the end of the draft.
I should have maybe picked like Defense Against the Dark Arts, one of the teachers for
Well, I took
just
Snape. I
because
was
Voldemort is your quarterback. It probably would have been smart, but I did choose Alistair Moody, and I do
gonna
feel
say
like
you have Moody.
it did, even
I was
though
a,
the real Moody, he did teach the class. So
I was afraid you were gonna take Snape, so I took him early, but I would have put him on defense. But okay. I don't know what you're doing right there, but okay. That's it with the draft. So that's the end of the pod. The breaking news today. Just a transition to NBA for the NBA news
oh,
individuals. Did you hear about the
good.
Bucks today?
No, but I have a comment.
They fired their rookie head coach,
They
Adrian
did.
Griffin.
Wow.
They're second place in the East.
And
I
they
think
just fired him.
33 and 10 or 30 and 13 or something. Fired him. I think they're like 23rd in the league for defense. He's supposed to be a defensive coach. I guess like front office was watching practices. There's a little turmoil.
Oh,
I was under the impression that Giannis and them like were like, yeah, we want him and he's out.
yeah, you would think he would have been a part of
So
that thing. The
as a Celtics fan, I'm a huge. I wasn't scared of that weak ass team anyways, but huge moment because they're not winning with a interim head coach, and then it almost screws next year if you pick the wrong guy too, because a rookie coach potentially, if it's another one in his
yeah,
first season, it's tough to win. So just
he's
the big news to end the pod.
not very happy down in the Dominican right now.
Yeah,
Um,
I
I
I texted him. He said, "What the hell?" It's like,
I do have a bone to pick with you, though, based off of that NBA comment. I actually was going to wear a different shirt, and it was going to be a nice big holiday going across.
I
And I
have
was
to.
gonna be like,
It's
hey,
not.
by the way, like I am going to continue to root for the Bucks until you keep your promise of buying me
I'm
a
waiting
true
for the black one.
holiday
I do not want a different one.
shirt jersey, not even a real jersey, a t-shirt jersey. I told you it doesn't have to be black. I will take the green.
I want. I want the black one.
You're just
Okay.
not wanting to buy me it. Then you're coming with all these excuses.
No, I will. Give me a break, okay? We're ending the pod. Lexa, thank you for helping host, even though it was a disaster with the
It wasn't a
interruptions. Mason, have
disaster.
fun.
I think
Have fun
I'm gonna
editing this.
kick Mason out of his role, and we're gonna get the most views ever. So
All
I'll call
right.
you in about an hour so we can do our normal nightly chat. How's that sound?
Absolutely not. We'll see you later, everyone. Have a good day.
Bye,
Love
Cole.
ya.
Love you.
Bye. Yep. Love ya. Bye.